Hello guys, so welcome to Finance Infopedia. My name is Ashlyn Tech. So in this video, I will be discussing with you some of the most important aspects of IPO. IPO is a term that you might have heard many times, even if you are not into active investment. Even if you are not a trader, not an investor in share market, still you would have heard this term IPO. You might have heard this term while reading a newspaper, or you might have heard this term while watching a television channel, news channel specifically. So basically in this video, my intention is to discuss exactly what is IPO is, also how through an IPO the structure of a company will change, and what are the requirements for a company to go for an IPO, and also once IPO is done, what are the changes that will happen in a company, and most importantly, why a company will go for an IPO. So these all are the major aspects that I will be discussing in this video. So the screen that you can see in this video is my blog, which is again Finance Infopedia. You can go to access my blog by typing financeinfopedia.com, and I have written an article which is what is initial public offering IPOs. So basically, I will be just reading out whatever I have written in this blog, and in between, whenever I feel necessary, I will be explaining a little bit more than what is written in this blog. So let's get started. So IPO, which is also called as initial public offering, is a buzzword that you will always hear if you are into equity investment, right? If you are an investor, then always once in a while you will hear this term IPO, because once in a while some new company will issue their IPO and will try to become a public company. So the thing is that nowadays you can see the advertisements of IPO in televisions, magazines, and especially on financial news channels. Earlier, the level of advertisement for an IPO was not that much, but nowadays, especially as more people are interested in subscribing to these IPOs, you can see these advertisements of upcoming IPOs in televisions and all other media. So let's get to the main point. What exactly is this IPO? This term IPO is. Okay. So IPO, or initial public offering, is a process by which a private company issues their company shares to public for the first time. So before IPO, a company will be a private company. Private company where the shareholders will be limited. It might be 1, 2, or 3. Only few shareholders will be there. Okay, so that is called as a private company. Through IPO, one private company will try to make it a public company by issuing shares to public. That is through IPO. A private company is converted to a public company. So IPO enables public people like you and me. IPO enables public people like you and me to participate in the growth of a listed company, which is not possible if it is a private company. I will explain that in detail. If it is a private company, if a company is a private company, for a normal person like you or me, it is very difficult to participate in the growth of that private company. Here I have listed some of the companies in US which are not a listed company, which is not a, when I say listed company, that means a public company. Okay, listed in the share market. And I'm saying, using the term listed, that means the company is a public company and it is listed, that company is listed in the share market. For example, in India, share market means Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. So these are some of the companies: Ernst Young, Pricewaterhouse, Coopers International, Deloitte. So these are some of the famous companies that are not listed, and hence it is still maintaining its private company tag. Now, once you scroll down, you can see some of the most common, well-known, reputed companies in India. The first two, Amul and Parle-G. These are very old companies. Any layman can recognize these companies, Amul and Parle-G. Amul milk products and Parle-G biscuits are something that we consume on a regular basis from our childhood. And Flipkart is reasonably a new company, but still it is one of the largest e-commerce companies in India. So these three companies are, even now when I'm recording this video, is a private company which is not listed in Indian share market, which is not listed in the share markets like Bombay Stock Exchange and National Stock Exchange. So if we want to participate in the growth of these companies, we need to invest in these companies, right? So if we need to invest in these companies through demat, then the only way to invest in these companies is when these private companies convert themselves into a public company. So by getting listed into the stock market, private company turns into a public company and give people like us the opportunity to invest in those companies. Okay. So first thing is how to find upcoming IPOs. So as I mentioned earlier, you can see the advertisement. So through advertisement, you will come to know that a new IPO is coming up. So that is one basic way of understanding, but that is a passive participation. You have to actively try to understand what are the new IPOs that are going to come. So below mentioned, I have given the links of NASDAQ, NYSE, New York Stock Exchange. So if you go to my blog, you can see the links of those websites where you can see the upcoming IPOs of US stock market. So these links I will put in the video description also. Okay. Now to find the list of upcoming IPOs in India, you can use the links given below. Again, there are many links which I will put in the video description. You can use those links to actively try to understand the newly coming IPOs in India. Okay, so these websites are basically National Stock Exchange website, Bombay Stock Exchange website, and SEBI, Securities and Exchange Board of India website. So from these websites, using the link which I will be putting in the video description, you can try to find out the upcoming IPOs in India.